Greetings, car fanatics. So I'm going to show you guys how to drive stick shift. I know most of my viewers already know how to drive stick shift, but I know some people out there don't, so I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate in my Porsche 911. So let's go ahead and look at the basics. So before you even start driving, trying to drive a stick shift, what you should do is practice with the engine off. So go ahead and just press down that clutch and then practice rowing through the gears and getting familiar with where everything is at. So in this case, with my car, I'm going to go to the left and up for first gear, down to the left for second, up in the middle to third, and then straight down to fourth, up to the right for fifth gear, straight down for sixth. And depending on your car, if you have a 5-speed or a 6-speed, your reverse will be in a different place. For my 997, you actually just go all the way over to the left and up, and that puts you in reverse. Now, let's talk about how to get started and what you're actually doing here when you're pressing on the clutch, the gas, and moving the stick around. So the stick is actually allowing you to select what gear you want to be in. The clutch is actually what allows the engine to grab onto the transmission and move the wheels. So when you go from gear to gear, you're going to have to release the clutch in between gear changes, and that's going to allow you to shift gears. And what you want to do with the gas is, just match the different speeds. So if I'm going from first to second, I'm going to press on the clutch, I'm going to put it in a second gear, and then as I'm releasing that clutch, I'm going to be applying some gas to match the engine speed to the transmission speed. That way we can have a nice smooth shift. So let's go ahead and get started. So probably the hardest thing about learning how to drive stick shift is how to get going. So from a dead stop, you want to put it in first gear with the clutch all the way down, and just release the clutch very slowly so you can find that engagement point. So in this case, for my car, it's about midway. I can release it midway and the car just starts to roll. Now if I let the clutch out all the way, the car is going to stall because the engine doesn't have enough power to get the car going. So at this midpoint where the clutch is engaging, I could just apply the gas. That'll get the car rolling faster, and I can just release the clutch a little bit, and that's going to get me going. And now the clutch is fully out, and I'm rolling. So to shift to second gear, I'm just going to press the clutch all the way down, put it in second, and as I ease off that clutch, I'm going to give it a little bit of gas just to match the engine speed and the transmission, so you get a nice clean shift. So I'm going to turn around here in this cul-de-sac, and we'll talk about how to do some more advanced techniques. So usually you'll find that getting going is the hardest thing. So just remember to let out the clutch slowly, give it some gas, and you can just try to get a feel for where the clutch engages. As you're driving, clutch all the way down, all in second gear, release the gas and go. Got a nice smooth shift. And then up to third. So the next thing I'm going to cover with you is how to actually slow the car down when you're driving a stick shift. So what you don't want to do is come to a complete stop while the car is in gear with the clutch all the way engaged, because you're basically going to stall out the engine. So the first thing I'll show you is just how to slow down by depressing the clutch. So let's say I want to pull over here. I'm just going to press on the clutch all the way. The clutch isn't engaged now, and I can come to a complete stop, and the engine isn't going to stall out on me. That's the first way to stop. The next way you can stop is, instead of just pressing the clutch down and holding it, you could actually go from gear with the clutch down, put it in neutral, take your foot off of the clutch, and now that you're in neutral, you can come to a complete stop because the engine isn't actually engaged with the transmission, and that's going to allow you to coast or come to a gradual stop. Alright, so now that I'm rolling, I'm just going to show you how to do this stop by putting the gear selector in neutral. So I'm in second gear, I want to come to a complete stop, I press the clutch in, it's in neutral, let the clutch out, and now I can coast as long as I want without worrying about the engine stalling out, and I can come to a complete stop without any issues. Now the third way I'm going to show you how to slow down is how to slow down while actually being in a gear with the clutch engaged. Now you might ask, why would you want to do this? Well, it's pretty simple. So if you don't want to come to a complete stop, you're just going to slow down just a little bit. It makes sense to just press the brakes like you normally would, and as soon as you're ready to get going again, the car is already in gear, and you can just press on the gas and get going. Additionally, you do get the benefit of engine braking and allow you to slow down to actually get on the brakes. So let's go ahead and demonstrate this. All right. So I'm in second gear, and let's say I just want to slow down for this turn, get a signal, and I'll press on the brakes. I'm not coming to a dead stop, and my revs aren't dropping too low, so I don't have to worry about stalling out the engine. So that's as simple as it is, but you do have to be careful. You don't want to slow the car down too much with the clutch engaged, because once you drop to around 1,000 RPMs, the car will have a lot of hesitation, and you're probably going to stall it out pretty soon. So that's something to keep in mind. So let's say you got the hang of it. You can get the car going. You can shift gears. You can also slow down and it comes to a complete stop. Now let's say you want to accelerate, but you're in the wrong gear. I'm going to show you how to downshift. Now let's say I'm in third gear and I need some power. I need to be able to accelerate. I want to downshift to second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press on that clutch. I'm going to put it in second gear, and as I slowly release off the clutch, I'm going to give it gas just to match the engine speed. So pretty much just like how you would normally shift gears going up, but you do the same thing for downshifting as well. But let me go ahead and just recap downshifting for you. All right, so I'm getting rolling. I'll get up to speed here. Second gear, clutch in, third gear, slowly release off that clutch, get on the gas, and now let's say I need a downshift. I'm going to press that clutch in, gear selected for second, and as I slowly release off the clutch, I'm going to give it the gas. There you go. And now I'm in second gear and I can accelerate. So now I'm going to show you how to rev match. So rev matching is a more aggressive form of downshifting. It's really good for racing and really the beginning of learning how to heel-toe downshift. So what you're essentially doing when you're rev matching is you're just blipping the throttle before you actually let out the clutch in a downshift. So what this is going to do is it's going to shoot that rev up, and then as you let out the clutch, that rev is going to help your engine and transmission match speeds. So I'm going to show you how to do it here. I'm in third gear and I need to rev match into second gear. I'm going to do this pretty quickly, but keep an eye on it. Clutch in all the way in, boom. There you go. I just blipped the throttle while letting out the clutch and got a perfectly smooth, nice rev match downshift. Let me show you that again. So I'm in third gear. Quick downshift with the throttle blip. And one more time. Well, there you have it, car fanatics. Wanted to make a very quick video to show you how to drive stick shift. It actually isn't very hard and really fun. I highly recommend learning on an older car so you don't mess up your dream car or your friend's really nice car. Just learn on an old car where you're not afraid to stall it out, and it will be something you will learn and never forget and really enjoy. Thanks for watching, car fanatics. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Leave any questions or comments below.